Stop being acoustic, Michael.
Welcome to the first ever episode of the PCIS podcast. I'm your host, Michael. This is my illustrious guest, Richard Hammond and Bob Marley Jr. On today's episode, we will be discussing some ideas about some effects of the recent protests and Christmas time. So, on our agenda today, first, Stephen Marley.
Obviously, that's not my name. My name is Stephen Bradley. I'm sure many of you people know who I am already. Today, I'm going to be talking about the protests and how a lot of us got stuck at home, including me. So, for the duration of the protests, essentially, I got kind of locked into my house because there was protests right outside. I live in a gated community, right? And so the protests were right outside of the road where I lived. So I kind of got stuck in the house. Sorry, what were you saying?
Was there trees that caught on fire? Did you see things burning, you're chanting, yelling, that kind of stuff?
Actually, that didn't happen.
Oh, so it was just peaceful protests?
Peaceful protests.
Yeah, I think peaceful.
Roadblocks.
Roadblocks, there we go.
But yeah, so to segueing off of that, my question would be to both of you, have either of you had experiences as far as being stuck in your home or getting roadblocked out of doing something you wanted to do?
I mean, the closest I have was once in South Africa where a bunch of people blocked off a supermarket because they wanted to loot it, and a bunch of taxis had to form a barricade outside of it, and the police were involved and everything. It was really crazy. But as far as Panama goes, not much. I live close to the school, so it didn't really hamper most of my time getting here.
There was a protest, or the way from San Carlos to Gorona, and I couldn't go there, so I can't really go to school.
And so you were stuck at your house.
Yeah.
Did you see other protests? Anything else?
No, I just got in from my parents saying that just protest, so I can't go to school.
None of you were here then, but one day we tried to go to school, and the teachers and some of the staff was actually in the road trying to turn the cars around as they were dropping kids off and getting kids' parents to pick them up because I got news of a roadblock that was going to start right on the entrance of Gorgona. So anybody that was there on that day, that was pretty interesting. Anybody else got anything to add on this part?
No, other than just like you said, was talking about how one of the school days got canceled literally about 8 to 10 minutes after the school day had started, and a lot of the parents were generally disgruntled about that, especially because they had to drive down there and then immediately, oh yeah, turn around, come get your kid.
Yeah. Would your parents do that, Stephen, or would they just say, tough it out?
Oh yeah, no. They basically would just all right, you're not going to school. So, I mean,
we got the first bleep of the episode. Yay!
Okay, honestly, we can just bleep that out. But as I was saying, my parents would not necessarily allow for a situation under which I wouldn't be able to stay at school for the full duration, especially because if we don't know, then that's why we ended up stuck at home, because we weren't sure. So essentially, if we're not sure that we can stay the full day, then we're just going to go. We're not going to go, because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, my parents would do the same, except my mom said, you can walk home because we live 5 minutes away from school. So it's hey mom, they're closing off the school because of protests. Oh, no worries, you can walk home. You're 15 minutes away. But the 9 o'clock sun, no.
Didn't ask.
Yeah. You, Emmanuel, your parents, what would they do? Would they make you go to school, or do you have to stay home and hide?
I gotta stay home and hide.
Nice. I think that is about that for what we can think of for that. So the next topic on our agenda is any outside news from things we heard. Any of you guys hear anything from what happened in the city, stores closing down, that kind of stuff?
Other than the grocery stores in many local areas, especially in the Panamanian
mountains.
Yes, thank you.
Chiriquí.
In the mountains in Chiriquí, as my friend Michael said, the grocery stores were essentially empty, or rather, anything essential that people would be looking for was already gone, and that was a bit disgruntling, a bit confusing for some of the people who might have not had as much access to the news as some other people, because essentially you just walk into a store, it's okay, where's anything actually?
Where's the vegetables?
There's no fruits, there's no vegetables. A lot of the essentials like eggs and water and stuff like that were just gone from the store.
Wait, did you just say where's the vegetables?
Yes.
What kind of person walks into a grocery store and thinks where's the vegetables first?
My parents.
Fair enough, actually.
That's fair. I'm not asking. My parents wouldn't do that. Well, they would probably, but we'd probably try to hide the vegetables.
Fair.
How about you, Steven?
Honestly, yeah. My parents enforce healthy eating habits, and I don't even mind it because obviously it's good for you. So yeah, we do that. It's just like, all right, where are the vegetables at? Where are the fruits and stuff?
Except like broccoli trees. Those broccoli trees over here, the green ones. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like you're eating a patch of grass. That's disgusting.
Broccoli goes crazy generally though.
Yeah. Or like spinach with
Yeah.
like good sauce, like Popeye. That stuff's good.
But back on topic
Yeah,
as
back
far
on
as
topic.
not current events, past events related to the protests.
I had some friends who live up in Chiriquí who said, our landlord actually lives there as well. He said he could drive his truck around for 1 week before they had no gas for like the following 2 months. And our friends said they had friends who lived closer to the border of Chiriquí, if you want to put it like that, where they could see people blocking the trucks off for like rows down, just like saying you can't come in here until this is sorted out. It's like, that must have been crazy. Can you imagine that, seeing all that stuff, all that food all there, just like, and you're just like, no, we're gonna stick to our guns. And that's impressive. I mean, the Canadians lost a bunch of farmers. And we have our first guest interruption. Welcome to the PCIS podcast, Svetlana, the Irishman, well, Irish girl.
Irishman's crazy.
Yeah. Emmanuel, you have anything else to add?
To be honest, no.
You don't know anything from like what happened outside? Any stores shutting
Well,
down?
I did know there was like no vegetable coming up to the city from Chiriquí to the city, and like my parents said like there was no vegetable in the grocery stores, which is bad for the.
Yes.
That's it.
It's bad for the.
I literally said for us.
Oh, not this thing. But one of the general concerns that a couple citizens, especially closer to Panama City, had is that concerning travel, because with the roadblocks and the traffic, the coming to the airport had became a lot more difficult and a lot more uncertain than in previous times.
Yep.
And this applies to us as well, as we've been hoping to travel to the United States in the middle of the protest, like when it was still like at its peak. And we had to leave the house at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we got to the airport at about 3. And there were still protesters out at 2 o'clock in the morning. That was a bit surprising, or very surprising.
That must be like living off caffeine if you do something like that. You know, like it's just like all those caffeine patches.
Yeah, we thought they'd be asleep. That's why we left so early. It wasn't necessarily roadblocks. It was just people on the side of the road waving the flag around.
Really ominous, right? Like Judgment Night stuff.
Hey, at least they ain't blocking the roads, though.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean, anybody else have any points of information on our protest topic?
No, I think that'll be it as far as that goes.
I think that's all. That's all I got. I mean, anything else is probably common knowledge. Most of the people in the school, protests are over. Big company lost, which is good or not good. We're not into the specifics, so we're staying out of that. And anything else to talk about? I mean, it's December, Christmas time.
Before we get to the Christmas stuff, sorry, excuse me. One thing that is a lasting concern would be the mining companies' workers themselves, who are incredibly unhappy with the decision that the government made to determine the mining companies' processes as unconstitutional, because the mining workers who had already been contracted were essentially out of a job now. Because from their perspective, like they had been given the job, it's like, okay, it'll start soon, and then they're like, no, never mind, go back to Canada.
So there's a bunch of workers who were told they could go to Panama to work, but then the whole protest ended in favor of the country, basically, and now they're stuck in Panama without a job.
Essentially, but it wasn't necessarily only Canadian people working. It was also Panamanian citizens who were in the city as well. And one of the only downsides of this mining contract being unconstitutional is the lack of economical benefit that it would have brought. But other than that, we're all happy that the protests are over. We're happy everything's back to normal.
That is it. So, and that concludes our segment on the protest. Now, moving on to the other segment we have thought of. It is Christmas time. So, anybody got any ideas for a Christmas idea? Steven, what's on your wish list? December, Old Saint Nick is watching you.
Honestly, I don't really have anything in my wish list at the current moment. I have really everything I could ask for at the moment. I'm looking forward to the long break from school. Getting some time in the gym.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Stephen Bradley wants hair extensions for Christmas.
I did not say that.
And you, Emmanuel, what do you want for Christmas?
Probably.
Who's inside a new calculator?
Yeah. Which is not true.
Oh, there isn't? I thought you did want it. You told me like you're expert at math. You're like math man.
I am, but not that much
Coincidence.
compared to my cousin.
Your cousin is better than you. Is he like a straight A student?
Probably.
Huh.
You heard it here, people. Hair extensions and calculators. That leaves me. What do I want?
Someone.
I guess. I mean, you can say I want water since I'm from Africa, but I already got it sorted. I think I'd have to say I'd want the break to go well, and nothing else to happen or a house to burn down.
I hope this year can be I hope next year can be a better year.
That is a good one. That is a good idea.
And frankly, you know what I'm hoping for as far as 2024 goes? I'm just hoping there's not another pandemic. We already know how that went, but we'll get into that in another episode.
Yeah, that reminds me. It's crazy to think we're talking about 2020 like it's like it feels long ago.
Right, it's like, oh man, so long
But like
ago. Back
for most of us who are in school, like 2020 seemed like so far ago. Like just to think about it, and I feel like yesterday when it was 2013, and now it's 2023. That's just crazy.
Leaving me in almost 2024.
Yeah, that's even worse. Can you believe it? Well, I think that concludes our episode for this week. Stay tuned next time when we discuss the ethics of hats.
Also, if you have any further topics or comments that you would like us to address, please leave it in the comment section or anywhere where you believe you can reach us, and that'll be all. Thank you.
Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the insanity.